Okay, I want to thank our dear mighty God for bringing us to today. Jehovah, King of glory, as we're going to start our lesson, I pray that you guide us through it and let us understand whatever we're going to learn in it. I pray all of this in Jesus' name.
Amen. Okay. Thank you so much for the word of prayer. Okay, hope my screen is on. Kindly let me know in the chat whether you can be able to see my screen. It is a plain screen. There is nothing. Hey, oh, okay. Okay, yes, it is on. Now, the first thing, I have a picture there. Kindly raise up your hand and you tell us what you think is taking place. What do you think is taking place in the picture? What do you think is taking place in the picture? Yes, Techno? Techno unmute? Techno Pro?
Population census.
Population census. Okay, thank you so much. Techno Spark? Thank you. That is what Techno tells us. Techno Spark? Okay. Samsung? Oh.
Voting.
Techno is saying voting. Okay, good. Yes. Now, when you look at what is taking, okay, in the picture, I have another one. Oh, okay. Looking through the chat. Okay. Yes. So when you look at that picture, yes, Techno, you want to add on? Yes?
No?
Okay, yes. So one person was telling us it is voting. Another person told us it was population census. Now, when you look at those two answers, they might be a bit close to what we call, to what the answer is, but they're asking us what is taking place and you cannot start. When you look at the old lady, when you look at this old lady, you can easily notice that the lady was really voting because those are what we call the voting register. Those people who have voted at maybe your school, in some schools, they use ballot papers. So what this lady is holding is what we call the ballot paper. So a ballot paper is that paper that contains all the candidates that have stood in for a given position. So that's what the lady was doing. And when you look at this picture, it can give you a hint that this is what we call the register. Like in the process of voting, always we have a register that contains all those people who are eligible to voting. So since for you are not yet 18 years, you cannot appear in this list for voting for our leaders. But at your school level, you can appear on the list. So what is taking place here? It is voting. For population census, we do not line up. They just come at your home and then they count you from your home. But when it comes to voting, it is us, because it is our obligation, it is us who move and go where the voting stations are. So what was taking place was voting. Very good. We are going to proceed. I have another photo. What do you think is taking place here? Okay. Maganda?
Is voting.
Okay, so it is voting. Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, people are saying it is the voting that is really taking place. Okay, good. Then we go to the next one. What about here? What do you think is taking place?
The counting.
They are counting. Okay, good. Thank you. Musok, what do you have to say? Rush, what do you have to say? Yes, Musoke?
Counting votes.
They are counting votes. Catherine, what do you think they are doing?
Counting votes.
Yes, they are counting votes to find out which candidate is good, which candidate has won, which candidate has got the highest number of votes. Then what about here in this picture? I start with Kaya. Kaya. Oh, I'm failing to get Kaya. Abby. Odani.
Voting.
Voting. Okay. Ayo.
I think they are getting their passports.
Okay, you think they are getting their passports? Okay. Another one, Abby Odani. Oh, okay. I'm feeling Precious.
We just national ID. We just
Okay. Registering for national ID. Okay, good. So all of you had a hint about it. Yes. So when you look at what is taking place, you can notice that we have the digital cameras. We have someone taking, this is someone I think was taking, they were taking the fingerprint here. This one is on his laptop taking some data. So what is happening actually, when you look at these photos, it is what we call the national registration. When you go in to take your ID, whenever you are going to register to take your ID, you'll see such devices. In a senior, I think you were in primary, they registered you when you are still in primary, and those people came at your schools. Yes. So here, what is taking place? We are doing our registration for the national IDs. It is very important. And in life, please make sure you have an ID. Whenever you don't have an ID, in case of any misfortune, it may be hard for you to be noticed. So take an example, maybe you get, God forbid, you get an accident, you don't have anything that identifies you, they can easily throw you anywhere. And also it also helps. So it is very important. So make sure whenever you're moving from one place to another, have something that talks about you, that my name, that document that at least has your identifications, such that people can be able to know the person. And even when you go to some offices, you are going to find out that for you to enter some offices, you need something that talks about who you are. So in case you are studying in a school, please make sure you follow up and see that you have an identity card of a school, or you have your own identity card. But for you may not have the national IDs because you have not yet made up 18 or 16 years. Okay, now I have another question. Which government body does the above activity? The recent activity that we have been able to see for the previous slide. Let me see whether people know or are following up the government things. Which government body? Anyone with an idea? Precious?
NIRA.
NIRA. Precious, can you tell us what NIRA is in full?
National Identification Registration Authority.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes. So the government body that does that is what we call the NIRA. And what do they do, Precious? Okay. Let me use the chat to find out. Yes. Okay. Yeah, the lesson, this is a math lesson. So it's not geography, it is math lesson. Okay. Now, I want to, what do they do? What do NIRA people do? In fact, let me even use the recent activity we have been having. We have been having counting of people in Uganda. Yes, Precious.
They capture data and process national IDs.
I beg your pardon. They do what?
They capture data and process national IDs.
Thank you so much. Please, let's take note of that. They capture data and issue out national IDs. Now, my next question, why do you think it is important for them to do that work? Precious has told us they capture data. Now, my question is, why do you think it is important to capture data? Please raise up. Now, I don't want Precious, I want other people. Why do you think it is important to capture data? You have seen during the population census, they were capturing that. Why do you think it is important to capture that data? Yes, Paile.
In order to know the number of people in a country, or in
Wow.
order to know some particular views about people or about a particular topic.
Very good. Thank you. Titus is also telling us to know the birth and the death rates. Very good. Let me even ask you, I want us to relate. Why do you think the schools look out for that data? When you are going back home for holiday, you always take something for your parents. Yes, Dennis? Oh, yes, Dennis? Yes, Mukisa?
To know the number of children in the school.
To know the number of the children in school. Very good. Yes. What is the importance of knowing? Now, that is what I want. Why do you want to know? Why do you think the country wants to know? Why do you think the school wants to know? Yes, Nora. Nora?
For proper budgeting.
For proper budgeting. Very good. That is one. For budgeting purposes. Isaac. Oh, I saw Isaac.
For planning purposes.
For planning purposes. Very good. You are bringing out the answers. Yes, Daniel? Okay. Rush?
For proper budgeting of the
For proper budgeting. Okay. Good. Rush and Kathy? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not getting some, but let me, okay. Looking through the chat, people are saying to know how much food to buy, to provide enough supply to schools for easy planning. Very good. Yes. Now, one of the most important things I want you to take note of in life is planning. It doesn't matter at what age you are. One of the most important thing I want you to start factoring in your life is what we call planning. Anything you have not been able to achieve in this life is going to happen because of poor planning. It is very important. You have seen people failing to meet deadlines because they don't know how to plan. You have seen businesses collapsing because of poor planning. You have seen people making losses. It is because of poor planning. You have seen students performing poorly. It is because of poor planning. So everything is rotating about planning. So if for you fail exam, the problem is not the teacher. It is you because you don't know how to plan. Here it comes because you don't know how to plan for your time. You have seen people who spend the whole day on phones, on gadgets. It is because they don't know how to plan for their day. So planning is an important aspect. And if someone masters planning at an early stage, you live a purposeful life. But if you don't know how to plan, things are going to be messy. You have seen people who just come in abruptly without even letting you know, and That is because of poor planning. So us capturing the data, the government capturing that data, its importance is because the government wants to plan for us better. When the school knows the number of children, they can be able to plan for you better. So anything we are doing, it's going to rotate about the way we plan. So please make sure any day you wake up, plan for your day. Plan, say, today I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, and I will do this. Yeah. In fact, even you'll find that at my door, at times even there is some statement I usually love to make. In fact, it is written somewhere that let your inconvenience, I don't want someone's convenience, inconvenience my convenience. Like, if you are convenient, it doesn't mean that I'm also like if you are at your convenience, it shouldn't be that at your convenience is when you want to inconvenience my convenience. So always learn to plan better. So today, what we are going to do, like they have already told us that today we are going to look at capturing data. So the topic we are going to look at is going to be data correction. So we are going to look at data correction as our topic. So that is where we are heading. So in this country, the organization responsible, we have said it is NIRA that is responsible for capturing people's data such that they can be able, the government can be able to plan for us much better. And even at the moment, you have noticed that NIRA captures everything even after birth. To get your birth certificate, to get other details, it is NIRA that is doing so. Okay, so that is our topic that we are going to look at today. So you write your topic, data collection and presentation. Now, for those people who did this topic, you are going to summarize because always it is better you add on what you know. You add on something on top of what you know. So that is the topic, data collection and presentation. Okay. Now, when we look at data collection, the way you hear the word collecting, it means you are going to gather information. Then when it comes to presentation, it means you are going to put it in a way people can understand it better. Those who were following during the COVID-19, whenever the president was displaying the data, the death rates in the country, the rate at which people are being affected, always he was using a graph to show us. So one way to present data for easy understanding by people, it is through using the graphical approach. So that is what we are going to be covering throughout this topic. Okay, and what are our objective? So in this lesson, we are going to concentrate on only one thing. We are going to learn how do we collect data and also what are the different types of data. That is the only thing we are going to look at. And then after, we shall do an exercise. Okay, I think we are good to go. Now, we are going to do an activity. That is the activity. Now, I'm going to give you 5 minutes for everyone to start on 5 minutes and we do this activity. I want you now to learn to read, or we can get someone to read for us. Someone to read for us. In case there is no. Okay, Abby.
In your books, look around your home and list down all the items you can visibly see. Put your list of items in the table below with 3 columns. Each item should sit on a row. The table. In column 2, describe each of the items in the best way you can. In column 3, list how many or much of each item is currently visible to you in class.
Okay, good. Now let us start. Yes, when they talk about a column, these are the columns. This is what we call a column vertically. This is another column. This is another column. Then laws are the ones running horizontally. Horizontally are what we call laws. So let's do the activity. Look around your home, look around. We have said you are going to first put in the first row, this first column here, you are going to put everything you are seeing around your home. Put them there. Put them all those different items you are seeing. Then after you are going to separate them. So let us do that. We are doing it in 5 minutes time. Let's start. I have muted to allow people to do the activity. So we are doing the activity. I'm giving you more 2 minutes. Make sure you have completed row 2 and the column 3 and column 3 and column 2. That's why I'm muted. Okay. Yes, Precious, have you finished? And you tell us the items you are seeing. Yes. So we are listing all the items you are seeing in your home. So let me, okay. Michaela, you can first share with us the items you are seeing.
I'm seeing books,
Books,
table,
Books,
Table mat.
Table mat.
Chairs.
Chairs.
And pens.
And pens. Okay. Good. Thank you. Any other person? You can tell us what you are seeing. Dennis, Abilia, Dennis, for you, what are you seeing? Nancy?
I can see cups,
Cups,
bags,
bags,
and chairs, books,
and
iron box, and
iron. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. HMD Global. HMD Global. Global.
A television, a chair, stool, and our flask.
Yes. Okay, I'm failing to get Magana, but let me look through the chat. How can you describe? How can we describe? Yes, I want. How can we describe? Okay. HDMI. Okay, let me describe for you one, and then maybe you get a hint. Now I can say, no, the person who gave us the answer. Ayo, describe for us the book, and we see.
A book is rectangular with pages.
Rectangular with pages. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Now that is what you call the description. So I want you to describe your things that way. This is the second column. Describe the table mat. Describe. You can even tell us the color and the rest. So let us describe. Another person who has described something, you can raise up your hand and you tell us how you have described it. Any other person? I want you tell us what for you have written and how you are describing it. Okay, we start with Amil. Tell us.
A pillow. It is rectangular. Table. It is circular.
Good.
Chair. It is rectangular. It is rectangular. The seat is rectangular and it has 4 stands.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. Isaac.
Pen.
Describe.
It's blue.
It is blue. Good.
It's cylindrical.
Cylindrical. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Global. Lamalo. Phoebe. Oh, okay. I think, thank you, everyone. Please describe your item. The pen, in case it is small, you say it is small. What, like that. Then that is column 2. Now in column 3, list how many or how much of each item is currently visible in your home. Let's use, this is home. Yes, I start with the Amelie.
There are 2 pillows.
2 pillows, good.
1 table.
1 table.
3 stools.
3 stools.
And 2 chairs.
And 2 chairs, very good. Maganda. Okay, Maganda. Okay, I think I'm failing. Okay. Yes. Are you kindly tell us, we want to use your data. Are you tell us now your data here for column 3, what you have?
7 books.
The books are 7, okay.
5 table mats.
5 table mats.
8 chairs.
8 chairs.
And 3 pens.
And 3 pens. Okay. Good. Thank you. Now, okay, now we are going to go to the next one. Let me hope we are finished. Now, I want you to compare the notes in column 2 and 3 of your table and what you have observed from others. Is there any difference or similarity in the information given? Write your answer in your book. Then you are going to place your chart of the response. Okay, I'm looking through the chat. Yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. Okay, someone raise up the hand and you tell us, what have you noticed? What have you noticed between column 3 and column 4? What could be the difference? What have you noticed? There is a difference. There is a difference. People are saying there is a difference. But which difference is that? Yes, Kasumba.
The difference is in column 2, the difference was just describing how it looks. In column 3, in column 3 was how visible, how much do you have at home?
Okay, okay. So in one, you are describing. In the other, yes. Okay, good. So in one, we are describing. In the other, so we are describing in one, then in the other, we are giving the values. Good. Now, I want us to take note. That is where our concentration for this lesson is. Now, the moment when you look at your column 2 and column 3, you are looking that we are describing. Now, column 2, where you are describing, it has a word, and that is what I want us now to take note of it. This word is going to be very important. In column 2, I want you to tell me, column 2 is what we are looking at one, what we call qualitative. Let me even write it. We call it qualitative. I want you to get. Then in column 3, we are giving what we call quantitative. Kindly let me know whether we are together. I want to repeat that in column 2, what you are doing in column 2 is what you call qualitative data. That is your column 2. So qualitative, that is qualitative data. Then in column 3 is what we call quantitative data. Who can tell us what you think qualitative data is, and what do you think quantitative data is? Someone raise up the hand. What do you think qualitative data is, and what do you think quantitative data is? Yes, Abby?
Qualitative data means it talks about the quality of an object.
The quality of an object. Okay, Abby, come back. Basing on your column 2, what have you noticed about qualitative data?
I've noticed that it talks about quality. Yeah, the quality, how their difference, how their differences are.
Okay, how their differences are. Okay, thank you, Abby. Kasumba?
Column 43 talks about quantitative data.
Uh-huh.
Quantitative data talks describes the what, the value, how much the things are. For example, quantitative data, we can say the population in Uganda.
Okay, good.
That is
Yes. Okay. Okay, can we first now write? Let me first write. Emily. Emily? Oh, Peace?
Okay, sir. According to me, the qualitative data means how good the items are.
How good the items are. Okay. Thank you, Peace. Nancy. So we are writing as they give their submissions. Nancy and Nola.
Teacher, I think qualitative data talks about like its properties, like the properties of a cup, what it is made out of, and quantitative talks about its, okay, how plenty it is, the number.
Aha, very good. Yes. Lamalo, Phoebe.
Qualitative talks about the likes and feelings.
Okay, good. Okay, good, good. Now, let us first write. Let's write, everyone. Yes. Now, looking, okay, first write, and then we are going to write, and I want everyone, yes, first write. Let's first write. Hope you are doing the activity. Hope you are doing the activity. Let me hope now I'm going to check user. Kindly unmute. Okay. I think, yes, I'm Peili, Nancy.
Teacher, I've got my answers.
Okay, you tell us.
Qualitative data. But I've not got the definitions. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I've forgotten.
Okay, it is okay.
The examples of quantitative, we have height, age, weight, temperature, time. And the types, we have continuous data, where we have temperature, height, and many others. Interval data, where we have temperature in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit. Ratio data, where we have weight, age, and many others. Then qualitative examples, we have observations, like field work, audio, and images like photos, and behaviors like body language.
Oh, okay, good. Any other person who has found out something? Any other person? User, you are not talking. Yes, you tell us what you have found out. Isaac, we are coming.
I got quantitative data refers to the information that can be measured and expressed numerically.
Okay.
The examples I got: number of students in a classroom, height, temperature, and time.
Okay.
Then number 2, I got the 2 types as continuous data and discrete data. Discrete data is countable data, which includes whole numbers, like students in a classroom, cars in the parking lot, and books on a shelf. Then continuous data, it usually contains decimals or fractions. Examples: height of a person, time, and temperature. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Lamalo, Phoebe.
Countable numbers and measurable things.
Okay.
Examples are
Continue.
we have two types of quantitative data, discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data are typically things counted in whole numbers. Continuous data have an infinite number of possible values within a selected range. An examples of discrete data we have number of children in a family, the number of animals on a farm. We have number of chairs. Examples of continuous data we have amount of rainfall received, weight, and temperature.
Okay, thank you. Jude. Jude. Okay. Now let me explain and to add on to supplement on what you have found out. Now, when they talk about, we have two types of data. We have what we call qualitative and what we call quantitative. Now, like you looked at our two columns, qualitative is that data that you can only describe. Qualitative deals with the description of data. So qualitative means those things that we can describe. Like we have a book. I can describe that the book is blue. The book is yellow. So for this one is where we apply our feelings. So we use it where we use the senses. We can describe. For it is that data that is described. Then when it comes to quantity, quantitative comes from the word quantity. Quantity means numbers. Those things you can give by numbers. Things that you can count is what you call quantitative data. So for anything you can count, anything that you can give in terms of numbers, we call it quantitative data. Things that you describe, things you give by description is what you call qualitative data. So quality, it is a bit, it depends on a person. The way you may be looking at my screen, some of you are seeing red, others are seeing blue. So it changes depending on a person. So every person may have his own opinion. That's what you call qualitative data. So in the future, many of you are going to be making research. And when you are making research, you can either have qualitative or it can be quantitative. So quantitative is what we call by numbers. Now, still, when it comes to quantitative, we have that one that is continuous, and we have what we call discrete. Discrete is the one that is, okay, I can come. Now, let me explain now in details such that we are on the same page. When you look at my screen, I'm displaying what we call qualitative data. Qualitative data is based on observation. Those are the things you describe. When you look at the screen, you are not saying we have some students here. So you can describe that the children are putting on a blue uniform. Are we together? So here you give your own opinion. You give depending on your senses. You can look at the shirts I have here and let me put A, I put B, C, this is D, E, F, G, H, I, and this is J. If I may ask in the chat, please tell us which shirt would you take? Which shirt would you take? Or which one do you like most? Place in the chat and tell us and give us why. Place in the chat, tell us, I want this shirt, and you tell us why. That I would go with this shirt and why. I'm waiting, but let me also pick. I'm seeing Peace wants to say something and Kathy.
Okay, sir. I would pick the red t-shirt. F. It's because it's nice looking.
It is nice looking, okay. What about Kathy?
I would take black t-shirt
Why?
because it does not show that easier.
So yes, so you are not saying that when it comes to qualitative data, each one of you can have his own answer depending on your feelings, depending on your senses. That for me, I would take this. If at all it is me who's speaking, for me, I would take another color. So even you have seen people when it comes to cars, they can be the same cars, but each one of you can take on, say, for me, I want black, I want white, I want this color. So when it comes to qualitative, we describe, we put in our feelings like that. Raymond. Yes, Raymond. Yes, Raymond. Yes, Raymond. Okay. Okay. Can you summarize and add on the notes you have made? Looking on my screen, I want you to add on the notes you have made. Add something on your notes you have made. Summarize. Summarize. Okay. Copy. So let me hope you have finished to summarize. Okay, now we are going to go to the second data set, is what we call quantitative. Now, when it comes to quantitative, it has two parts. Quantitative is numerical in nature. Those are the things you can count. Those are the things you can measure. But I want you to take note. When it comes to quantitative, you have what you call discrete and you have what you call continuous. When it comes to discrete, those are the things that you cannot have in points. Things you cannot give in points is what you call discrete. Take an example, students. You can never say 20.0 students. No. Anything you can give in points falls under what you call continuous. Things you can measure. Take an example, your weight. Take an example, mass. Take an example, your height. That is what we call continuous data. When it comes to discrete, those are the things that can be counted. Number of people, things in home, like they told us 5 books. That's what we call discrete data. Kindly let me know in the chat whether we have understood the difference between discrete and continuous. Put it in the chat that yes. So you're saying that we should plant trees, but study look best for reaching the average and the beams. Okay, can we now summarize? Let's summarize. Let's summarize. Let's summarize. I'm going to repeat. Now I want to repeat. I hope people have finished. I've said that when it comes to discrete, that is the kind of data that you can only count, things that are countable in nature. Take an example. Let me give you an example. Take an example. In case I'm talking about sugar, you ask yourself, is sugar discrete, continuous? For things you measure that you obtain by measuring is what you call continuous. So sugar is continuous in nature because we just measure. When it comes to things, let me say height. Height is something you measure, so that is continuous. When I talk about number of students in class, that is things you count, you just count. When I talk about the number of pens, those are things you are going to count. Yes, Ashley. The number of people in the country, Uganda, that one we count. Let me hope you are getting now the difference. So that's what you call discrete.
Teacher.
Yes. Yes?
We're not understanding what you're saying.
Okay, you keep on. I'm saying, you keep on. I'm saying that when it comes to quantitative data, those are the things you can count. Those are the things that can be measurable. But in it, there are two things. It can either be discrete or it can be continuous. So when it comes to discrete, those are the objects that you can only count. Take an example. When I have sugar and I have calculators, for sugar, you obtain it, you can measure it. But for calculators, you can count that I have 5 calculators, I have 3 calculators. So that one will qualify to be discrete. Then for continuous, those are things that you actually do measure. Okay, let me hope it is a bit clear on that one. Okay, let me give more examples. Now, when let me give more examples here. Look at my screen. I'm giving more examples. When you look at what I have, this is discrete data. Apples, you can easily count them that I have 5 apples. When you look at cars, I have 5 cars. When I look, so that's what you call discrete quantitative data. Quantity number. But it is distinguished either as discrete or continuous. So for discrete, you will say number of apples, number of students in class. Those things you can count, number of cars, the shoe size. So those things you can count. But things that you can measure, that's what you call continuous. So you first write about discrete data in details. Yes, I'm just warning people, those who are using the chat, use it very well. Otherwise, once I remove you, you'll never be able to join the lesson again. Yes, Precious.
Teacher, I was requesting you to pardon on the definition and description for qualitative data.
Yes, you are talking about qualitative data?
Yes, I was requesting you to pardon.
Okay, now when we talk about qualitative data, we are looking at that data that you can describe, that descriptive data that you obtain through description, things you can describe in nature.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Right, about discrete data. Has everyone finished? I want to continue. Has everyone finished? Let me know in the chat whether you have finished, right? Okay. Okay. We are going to go to the next one. Is what we call now continuous. Now take an example. When you look at those taxes, you can count them. So that's what we call discrete. Then we have continuous data. Continuous or quantitative data is that one that you measure, things that you can use the weighting scale. Because those, in other words, when it comes to continuous, anything you can give in points can be continuous. Take an example. When we talk about height, I can say that person is 35.4. So when I say 35.4, this is continuous in nature. So anything you can measure is what we call continuous. Take an example: temperature, weight, length, such things is what we call continuous data. So, and those are some of the measuring instruments. Any quantity that you give after measuring it, we call it. Take an example: sugar, salt, those things, we measure them. So we can say that data is what we call continuous data. Okay, let me, user, you have a question. User? Okay, let's write. When you finish, you let me know. Let me hope you are finished. Let me hope you are finished. So I'm going to go on. And now here, I want you to raise up your hand. We are going to distinguish between the two. So we have two things. State whether each of the following variables is qualitative, discrete, or continuous. Take an example. The number of goals scored on an international break. So you raise up your hand and you tell us, is it discrete? Is it continuous? Is it yes? Okay, I start. Yes, Abby?
It is discrete.
Aha, this is discrete. Why? Abby, why?
It is because it's countable.
Because it is countable. Very good. Mukisa. Mukisa, give us for the second one. Oh. Mukisa? Frida? For which one? Part B, the number of people in a race?
Yes.
It is discrete. Why?
People can be counted.
People can be countable. Good. I go to who has not said anything. Rush or Precious? Nora?
It is continuous.
Which one are you giving? The time, eh? Yes, why?
Yes. Because it can be measured.
Because time is a measurable thing. Good. Let me see. Peace, faith.
It's okay. It's discrete.
Which one are you giving discrete? We on part D. The type of a vehicle seen on a road.
Yeah.
You are saying it is discrete. Why?
Because okay, it talks about the like numbers.
Not really. We are not yet there. Isaac, can you add on peace? We are not yet there.
It's okay, sir.
Not yet there.
E.
Part E.
Continuous.
Continuous.
Discrete.
It is discrete. Okay, good. Because those are numbers, eh? Those are numbers. Okay. Another one. Catherine, Precious, or Dennis, N.
Number 8.
It is
discrete. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Now, okay, let me mute you. Okay. Now, I want you to look at, I've not obtained an answer for part D. Type in the chat, part D, part F, and part G. Kindly type in the chat, what are your answers for those parts, D, F, and G? D, someone is saying qualitative, Tyrus. Thank you, Tyrus. Type in the chat, F is discrete. Number of pages in the book, good, because it is countable, discrete. Okay, I think the answers are there. Q is, I think, qualitative. Nasana Angel, that is okay. Precious, that is good. Okay, good. So the color, because everyone may see the color in different angle, So the color is going to be qualitative in nature. Number of pages, those ones are countable. It's going to be discrete because you don't measure. The type of vehicle seen. Now, when I ask you the type of the vehicle, each one of you may have his own opinion. He may say this one is this vehicle, this one is this vehicle, this one is this vehicle. So that one qualifies to be called qualitative in nature. So peace, it is qualitative because each one of you may have his own opinion and it may result into debates. So even for when it comes to qualitative, everyone can come up with his own answer and he defends it. You may look at color and say it is blue because that's how you see it. But when it comes to discrete and continuous, in case there are two, everyone will have the same answer, that it is two, it is two. But when it comes to qualitative, you may differ in your opinions. But for things that are quantitative, it is the same. When it comes to discrete, all of your answers will be the same. When it comes to continuous, there you may differ a bit. Hope that is okay. Is that fine? Okay. So that is what I wanted you. Let me hope you have understood the difference between those different types of data. Okay. Allow me to. Okay. Okay. So I want you are going to do for me this assignment. You are going to do for me this assignment, and then you are going to post in the chat on our WhatsApp group. So you're going to do this assignment and you're going to post in the chat in our WhatsApp group. So you take a screenshot, but I'm also going to share. I'm also going to share. Okay. Hope everyone has taken a screenshot. Okay. Okay, good. So allow me to end the sharing at this point. Allow me to end the sharing at that point. And I'm going to say what I'm going to do. What are we going to do? Some of you don't have the WhatsApp link. Let me first share it. Now on the WhatsApp, what I'm going to do, I'm going to post for you. I'm going to post for you a link to the exercise we are going to do. Now this exercise we are going to do it online. It is an online exercise that each one of you is going to do. And then after, you are going to post for us the marks. I don't know whether that is clear. You are going to do this is the link I'm posting. Yes, that is the link. We are going to do, and then